Hey everyone! We have a little bit of a different shot today because we're going to be talking about Beginner's Guide to Michael Crichton. So I'll be pulling things off the shelf. I should probably move my little tuk-tuk as well. Alright, so let's begin with, if you're this kind of personality, this is where you should start with Michael Crichton. If you don't know, Michael Crichton is a thriller, sci-fi author. Basically, thriller sci-fi author. So he basically, I don't know if he invented the techno thriller or if he just popularized that genre. If you don't know that genre, it's basically very, very fast-paced, very intense, kind of plots and with some sci-fi elements, not really fully sci-fi. I wouldn't really consider any of these really fully sci-fi except for maybe Sphere. But they're like fantasy elements, there are sci-fi elements, there are ones that have like no sci-fi at all and are like more cultural. So there's a lot of variety, so there's a lot of chances for something to kind of catch your fancy. So let's go ahead and start with if you like history. If you like history or historical fiction, then here are where the books you should start with Michael Crichton. Okay, the first one is Great Train Robbery. This one was one of the first ones I read, not the first one, but it is very fast-paced, it is very, very fun, and it is in London, and I forget what century. I apologize. I'm not really a history buff. I just like it, so I apologize that I don't remember. It's basically 1855. There you go, 1855. So, Great Train Robbery. Okay, and then Eaters of the Dead. This one is kind of like Beowulf, so if you like Vikings, Eaters for the Dead. And then Timeline. I'm just gonna have a big gap in my shelf. Timeline if you like medieval stuff. So that is my 3 recs. Whoop, this is harder than it looks. My 3 recommendations if you are a history kind of person. Okay? Here's me remembering that I have a pause button, so I could just pause it and put the shelf back in order. Alright, next is if you are a sci-fi lover, if you like science fiction, if you've read Dune, if you've read Ender's Game, if you like Star Wars, here are my book recommendations for Michael Crichton. The first one you definitely should read is Sphere, especially if you like classic sci-fi. This one has a very philosophical kind of sci-fi to it. This is probably Crichton's most very, very obviously sci-fi kind of book. Okay. Then we have Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is... Oh no! Sorry. Jurassic Park is sci-fi as well. It's a little bit more adventure-y, just depending on what you like. And then Terminal Man, which is up there on my shelf, so I'm not going to grab it, but Terminal Man also. So those are my 3. And I'll put up Terminal Man. Okay, for sci-fi lovers. All right, next is culture or politics. Culture, politics. If you like those kinds of books, here are my recommendations. Okay, number 1, definitely Rising Sun. It's exploring Japanese culture, and I really, really, really loved it. It was so special to me. I think even if you don't know anything about Japanese culture, this will be very fascinating to you. Okay, Rising Sun. State of Fear. Oh, they're kind of next to each other. That's fun. State of Fear is a little bit more political, but also just about American culture in general. This one is about the media, basically. Study of the media. All right, and then Andromeda Strain, which I don't have. I'll put it up here. It's up there, so I'm not going to get it. Andromeda Strain is definitely a cultural thing, and it's kind of a virusy pandemic kind of book. Okay. All right, next is adventure. If you like Indiana Jones, if you love adventure, if you love adventure, if you like Indiana Jones or those kinds of books, then these are the ones for you. Number 1 is definitely Jurassic Park. I don't think there's anyone who likes Indiana Jones that wouldn't like Jurassic Park, and the book is very, very good. The movie is great, but if you don't like the movie, I know people who like this book still. I'm one of the few who it's like my favorite book and my favorite movie for different reasons. Congo. This one has a terrible movie. Don't watch it. But yeah, the book is awesome. So it was way better than I expected it to be. I just heard some things about this book and really didn't want to read it, but it was way better than I expected. So if you like adventuring, Congo. And Timeline. It's my first repeat. Timeline. Oh, also, I didn't put it in here, but the second Jurassic Park as well. But Timeline, it's very adventurous. All right, so these 3 for adventure. I forgot to hold up for the other one, but adventure. All right, and my last one is if you are a horror reader. So if you're not a horror reader, you can still read Michael Crichton. I am not a horror reader at all. I don't like horror. But if you are a horror reader, you can really enjoy some Michael Crichton stuff because there's some stuff in it. So we have Jurassic Park. Has some horror elements in it. It is not that bad for people who don't like horror, but it does have some horror elements that I think people will really appreciate if they like Stephen King, that kind of thing. Okay, we have Eaters of the Dead, has some horror elements to it that I think you'll really enjoy. And State of Fear has like a whole section of the book that is very, very scary, like towards the end. So I think that you would really like that section, which I detested, but I think you would like it if you like horror. Okay, so if you like horror, these ones are the ones you should read if you like horror. All right, so that's basically it for my Michael Crichton beginner's guide. So I wanted to do this one because I want more people to be reading Michael Crichton. He's an absolutely fantastic author, and I think more people should read him. Just because he's gone doesn't mean he doesn't have some fantastic works. Also, I feel like people are looking for standalones. If you finished a series like Wheel of Time and it was really, really long, or if you're in the middle of a series and you need a break, these are really great standalones that you could read in the meantime or to take a break from something. So highly, highly recommend. Read some Crichton, get to know him a little bit, use these lists as kind of a guide where to start. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.